Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the first pick of the second round back in 2001, and that's the veteran Drew Brees.
Drew Brees' accomplishments have been borderline astounding. When you look back at what people thought about him coming out of college, so-called height issue, you name it, he can do it. And boy, does he prepare well for each and every game.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it, live to fight another down.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. 3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. To throw is Brees. And that will be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the Lions will take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan, he gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Michael Bennett, the former Texas A&M Aggie, dropping the hammer.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And Kelvin Benjamin's got it. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away to his left. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Antonio Gates that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much.
Touchdown, Detroit! Jakeem Grant, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went
and
3
now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. They had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Breeze. He'll check this one down to Michelle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space and let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The numbers a week ago for Michelle, 21 carries, 95 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And he'll take this to the 47, but no further as they get him down well short of the line to gain. A good rally to the football holds him to 2, and that brings up a 4th down. Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Crunch down, defense.
Here's Grant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Flush to his right. Completes it to Fitzgerald. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. That catch is a big one. We got to note it. Ties him for number 2 all-time with Tony Gonzalez. 1,325 career receptions.
And didn't they always tell us to model our performance, model our games after the greats that came before us? Well, here's a great example of why he's at this number. Took care of himself off the field.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? They'll run it. This is Michel. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later. Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Got a man, it's Amendola. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. They'll throw on first down with Ryan. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Here's Ryan to throw. It's complete. It's Fitzgerald. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Antonio Gates, the veteran tight end, was the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him. Brady never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
In his own end zone, it's Breeze. And Breeze is going to go down in the end zone, a safety. So troubles here offensively. I tell you, the noise in this dome, that has got to make it harder for these guys to hear.
Sometimes I find myself shouting up here. But you're right. If you can't communicate well or get off the snap count properly, it can cause big problems, and this qualifies as a big problem.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Automatic first down.
Ready, Blue 80. Back 25. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Airing this one out for Fitzgerald. That's caught inside the 20. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 34. Myers' kick is good. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in
the second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
50, 25. Two times.
They'll start the third quarter here on the ground. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They keep it on the ground. White again. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Here we go.
Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on first down. Grant. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They go back to Grant. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Corey Grant, his second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw again on second down. Breeze under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner, the former second rounder out of Utah State, with a sack.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Breeze going to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And a sack by one of the most consistent D linemen in the game, Gerald McCoy.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here comes Grant on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Opting to run again here with White. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 7 yards there and a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First down, here's White. Now White lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big time.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
92-80, 525. 41 to Mike. Check 41. What we got?
Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. That is caught at the 7. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jakeem Grant, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Myers connects on the PAT, and that will bump the lead up to 26. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tramon Williams. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. After the interception, here's Ryan. This is caught, and he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Antonio Gates, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This
but
is one of
she's
our guys.
singing too.
Oh, she's singing.
She's on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind. But he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points.
Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. Trying to get it to Woods. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Lions on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They stay on the ground with White. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now Breeze to Michelle on the screen. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. That's just his 2nd catch of the game. They wanted to keep him silent. They have kept him silent.
Defensive football 101. Don't let the best player on offense beat you. Take him out of the game, and they've done a great job of doing that.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete, and he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Bree's going to come up here, 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Breeze. He's got a man complete. It's Julian Edelman. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Dawson's kick is up and through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start the drive with a give to White. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
They'll keep it on the ground. White. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
51. Check. 55. Come up the ball. Hey, alert 3. Alert 3.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Lions, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get to stay home again next week.
EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports. It's in the game.